Hey everyone, Rock DIY here. Today I finally got my backhoe ripper for my Kubota BX23S. Buying the tractor was expensive enough, so at the time I didn't consider buying a backhoe ripper. Finally decided to get it, and then unfortunately it was on back order and I just got it, so let's see what we got. I did purchase this from Bxpanded, I think is how it's probably pronounced. So here it is, pretty simple, not a lot of packaging material. Jeez, it is pretty heavy. Yeah, this was on back order, and then I actually almost forgot about it. I could have purchased this elsewhere because other people do carry, not specifically Bxpanded, but parts for tractors that are very similar. But I decided to wait, allow it to come off back order, and eventually receive it. One of the issues with buying it elsewhere is there's a lot of markup on these from what I was able to look up. This was $279, no tax, and shipping was $15. The weight is 19 pounds. It almost feels heavier than that, but they say it's 19 pounds. The length from here to here is 14¼ inches, and then the total length is 17½ inches. This portion of it is definitely a 1/2 inch, and then the rest of the pieces are slightly smaller. There are 9 teeth on it. It doesn't look like it's very sharp, but actually for what you would use it for, it'd definitely be pretty sharp. It does have a offset serrated edge. Man, it's not like razor sharp, but it does have a pretty good edge on it. It also has a very good coating on it, or paint, from what I can tell. But you never know until you start using it. You know, the width here is, from here to here, is 6 3/4. You know, a lot of times when you see pictures of products, what you see in the picture is what you expect to get, and for some reason I fell for that. When I saw this picture, it actually had the pins in it, so I figured it came with pins, but it doesn't, and not that big of a deal because the pins that are on the tractor you can use anyway. The main reason why I gave in to buying this now versus back when I bought my tractor is I need to dig some slit trenches for the electric wire and water lines, and I could use the backhoe, but using the backhoe, it's I believe it's a 10.5 or 11 inch wide backhoe. It would be a whole lot more work doing it that way. With this, I can use it, rip a line, and then maybe have to do it a couple times to loosen up the dirt, and then just drop my lines in where I need them. The other good thing about buying this, which I could have used in the past, was I had a lot of roots from tree stumps. This would have came in very handy, but I was able to still accomplish what I need to accomplish with the backhoe and a chainsaw and many other tools. There you go. There is the Bxpanded backhoe ripper. All right, this is how you put the Bxpanded backhoe ripper on a Kubota BX23S. What you will have to do to put it on is you'll have to remove this 12mm bolt right here. You need to loosen this 10mm bolt right here so that you can swivel this out of the way, and then you'll have to remove this 10mm bolt, and then you'll have to knock the pin through, and then the same thing here, and this is a 12 millimeter nut and bolt right here. So you will need a wrench and a socket, or 2 wrenches, whichever you choose to use. Once you get that off, then you got to knock this pin through. Once you got those off, then you can start to put the backhoe ripper on. Keep safety in mind when doing this. In my case, I've got the backhoe bucket resting on top of a cart with a old desktop on it, so that I'm not trying to do this while it's up in the air. As far as tools go, the only thing you should really need is a hammer or a rubber mallet. I'm using this punch pin. May not need it. Small ratchet, and I've got 2 sockets. One's 12, one's 10, and I do need to get a 12 millimeter and a 10 millimeter wrench, and then it's pretty much all you need. We'll start on this side, and the other side does have a 10 millimeter nut and bolt. If you watch one of my other videos, you'll see how this got all mangled up, but it ended up getting a 12 millimeter. Actually, it's probably a 11. Either way, you do have to take this bolt out so that the pin will come out. What I'm going to do is remove it from the other side. So same bolt on the other side. I've just got it loose. And then what I'm going to do is loosen the 12 millimeter bolt in the center. So on this side, this piece right here is connected to the pin. On the other side, it's not connected. You just have to remove the 12 millimeter bolt that holds it in place. I'm going to start the tractor up, get a little bit of a tension off this so it's a little easier to get it out. Go ahead and take this bolt off, nut and bolt off. And this is 12 millimeter. There's that pin. Now for the other pin. Because I got the pin through up to this point, this part right here of the backhoe is tilting down now, so it's putting more tension right here. So you may have to put something up under it to get it to relieve some of that tension so that you can finish knocking the pin out. Alright, so there's that pin. Goes up here. And then here's this portion. Alright, so now the bucket can be moved out of the way. If I don't mention it in the end, when you get through putting the ripper on, make sure you grease your zerk fittings. This part up under here. So the upper part's gonna go like that. Just to get it somewhat started. Alright, so this part goes on here. This pointed part here is what goes here. And then you have 3 holes here. And this is where you bolt your pin onto the ripper. And the next part is to get this part, and this part all pinned together. Trying to get all 3 parts lined up can be a pain. Got it through the first 2. I just need to get it through the middle. Then I'll be good. There we go. I had to remove the tab from the bucket to put it on here because we'll need it on here. So I'm putting a 12mm bolt on this tab that goes into the back side of this pin, and then I will have to bolt it to the backhoe ripper. If it's not the birds, it's the dogs. If it's not the dogs, it's the planes. Never fails. Alright, so I have to go find a nut and bolt for that. So I got myself a bolt and a nut for this pin tab up here. If you're wondering why I don't just get a new pin, the reason why I haven't is because at the time that this happened, they wanted $110 for the pin with tab. I've got the pin with tabs back in. I've got nuts and bolts on all the tabs on this side and this side. I am now ready to go test the Bxpanded backhoe ripper. Almost missed it, but I'm going to put this pin back on the thumb. It goes right here. Put that back on, and then before I actually go and try to use this, I'm just going to put it through the motions to make sure that it doesn't like lock up or break or do something it's not supposed to. It where it's sitting right now is where it stops, and when I took it all the way up, that's where it stops at the top. I didn't see it kinking or binding or twisting or looking like it was going to break or anything, so all looks good. So now it's time to test it. So pretty similar to when you bring the bucket in, it doesn't come into contact with the back side here. So this is with the backhoe ripper all the way up and stowed, and it doesn't come into contact. It's got good clearance, so not a concern there. That's pretty good. It ripped through this ground pretty easily, and this is a lot of clay and a lot of rock in it, but it easily went right into the ground, full depth. And the nice thing about this is that it's also reinforced on both sides right here, because I can see where it would be easy to start swinging your backhoe left or right and easily start bending that ripper. But at least with those on there, it helps reinforce it. Not that you can't bend it, but it is a 1/2 inch thick, so it would take quite a bit to get it to bend. But this is pretty good. I mean, if this is you know, if you're gonna lay some pipe or some wiring, water pipe or whatever, you can use this to loosen the dirt up, and then just, you know, come along with your shovel and shovel out. Or if you know you've got some tree stumps or area with a lot of roots, this will take care of it pretty quickly. Wish I had gotten it sooner, but I didn't. So there it is. That is the Bxpanded backhoe ripper, and this is specifically on a Kubota BX23S subcompact tractor. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe, like, and or comment. Thanks again.